Dogs are on the deck with me. It is brightening up. It's not quite bright yet. I feel like there we go. But I do see some blue sky. It's we had a fog alert last night, so this is gonna burn off a little bit. Oh, there are the girls. Well, there's Maisie. Can you see Pearl? She's out there too somewhere. Oh no, she went that way. I am wearing my t-shirt because today is mowing day. Unfortunately, because I'm a procrastinator, today is mowing day and yesterday was not. Dennis is a procrastinator too. Although Dennis actually did some work yesterday. He made his window box that he's attaching to the deck, and he's going to fill that with dirt and then his tiny little plants. So he's working on his garden, which is going to be right here. So I said, why are you going to put the other one? And he's like, either here or here. And I'm like, I want it over here because once this garden starts growing, I won't be able to see off my deck. I can move the table over a little bit and see out this way. I'm like, he had some problems with rabbits eating his garden when he had one. He had built a square-foot garden over 10 years ago. He just dismantled it and it was all rotted and everything, but he had tried a square-foot garden and he had a lot of trouble with the rabbits eating his cabbages and whatever he was trying to grow. And then another year he had cutworms. Cutworms are really sad making. So he had some beautiful squashes growing along the fence, and you know, then one day he goes out there and they're just all wilted, and the cutworms just come right at the very bottom and cut the stem and then suck the juice, I guess, and kill the plant. So he's not feeling like a particularly successful gardener. We have eaten his tomatoes and things over the years a little bit, but on the whole, the other problem is, it's not a problem, but we were traveling a lot over those years, and it seemed like, you know, we would travel and that would be bad for his garden. So we are not traveling, and he has taken steps by talking about a raised garden to make sure the rabbits can't get to it, and the cutworms shouldn't be able to get to it unless he puts cutworms in his soil by mistake. And so we will have a garden of plants that he has grown from seeds, but his things are getting big. I don't know if you can see them over there next to the flowers sitting on the railing. They are, some of them are obviously tomatoes. And I don't know, I don't think he's planning on putting the tomatoes in these boxes. I think he wants to get pots for those, so who knows what's going to happen. But things are on the move now, and he was busy yesterday making that box, and so we didn't mow. Which was a little bit unfortunate because I didn't sleep very much last night because I came in second in a big poker tournament. I was so excited. I played pretty well. I'm very happy with how I did and how it went. You can't win them all. And, yeah. I made enough money so that I withdrew money off the site. I withdrew the money that I originally put in so that now I'm only playing on my winnings, which is very nice. It is nice when your hobbies pay for themselves, which is why I was selling jewelry to pay for my glass and why my knitting is not holding up to my other hobbies in terms of money-making schemes. But in my mind, that money was already spent, so I have it earmarked when it comes. It'll take a couple days for maybe buying some yarn. Since it was allowance, and that's where my yarn money comes from too. So anyway, that was exciting. So I'm wearing my WPC Showdown t-shirt to mow the lawn. I think that's Women's Poker Club. I'm not sure. I won a tournament from them too at one point. I was sitting in the Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City one day playing poker, playing a cash game, and they announced a women's tournament, blah, 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 blah. It was starting in 5 minutes, and I looked around and I said, hey, I'm a woman. And I got up and I went over, and it turned out it was this club had organized a women's only tournament for their members and anyone else who wanted to join. And it's very likely they couldn't have stopped a man from joining that tournament. But no men tried to enter it. And I ended up winning that tournament. Me and another woman, we were heads up. Heads up meaning, in poker, when you're heads up, that means only two people are playing each other. That's called heads up. And so we got down to 2 and we made a deal. So I consider that I won it. She considers she won it too. But anyway, so my poker went well last night, except that it didn't finish till almost 2 o'clock in the morning. And, you know, the adrenaline is pumping through your body when you're doing that, you know. And so it was very hard to fall asleep, and it was very hard to stay asleep. So I am running on enthusiasm for my poker today rather than actual energy. But anyway, it was fun. And I was happy with how I played. I wasn't perfect. I think he played better than I did. When it got down to 4-handed and 3-handed, I did not play as well as I should have. I'm very rusty, so that was a good lesson to, you know, pay attention to, but I did well, and I'm happy about that. I only knit on my sea salt sweater yesterday. That was my crafting. I need to measure it, and because I may be close to where I want it to start the bottom garter band, which means I'm almost done with that sweater. Helen and Mary Beth said that they made a huge mailing of yarn. I hope they got the Joy color dye in and they were able to dye some of that up, because I'm hoping I have a package coming soon. Because I was going to knit the Fable sweater next with that yarn I ordered from them. But if I finish this sweater and I don't get the yarn, maybe I'll go back and finish my ochre sweater. Maybe I'm ready to do a little lace knitting, because that's all I'm waiting for on my ochre sweater is the lace, doing the lace and the sleeves, but the sleeves aren't very big. So I probably should go back to that. So that's what's on the crafting front. I think I have one more leg of Maisie to do. She has a bum knee. I don't know if you noticed, she limps a little bit. She has a bum knee, which we have not been able to treat because we haven't wanted to take her to the vet. The vet has some kind of laser treatment she can do. So we're getting ready to start taking her to the vet for that, I think. You know, make sure they're wearing masks and then drop her off and pick her up. I don't even know. We'll have to talk to the vet and see what their procedures are. But because she has this knee that is sore, she always lays on the side where that knee is up. So I can never get to the other leg. So her right back leg is still pretty fuzzy. And I can't brush. I brushed her boo-boo leg last night and she's cried. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. So I have to be more careful with her. I think we're at the point where Dennis is going to have to hold her standing up, and we're just going to have to do it. So, but it doesn't stop her from running around with her sister, as you can see. You might not have known she has a boo-boo knee. So anyway, that's what's new here. It's going to be a little cooler today than yesterday, so that's better. And a little cloudy, which is good. Mowing on a cloudy day is not a bad thing. So it'll be fine. If I don't have any energy, I'll do the riding mower and let Dennis do the other one. But I don't prefer the riding mower. So aside from the mowing, which will probably be later this afternoon, just because it's going to take me a while for the coffee to kick in, and you know, we still have to walk the dogs. Meanwhile, I'm going to try to figure out how long I want my sea salt to be and see if I'm about ready to do the garter. So I added the new ball of yarn, and it turns out that it is actually looking like stripes too, so maybe it wasn't so different. There's a, you know, the stripes kind of get a little off right where I change balls. I thought I matched it up correctly, but apparently I didn't. But it is not, nobody will notice it but me, and maybe you. If you know, when I wear it, you might be able to tell because you're knitters, but it's gonna be fine. I thought the bottom half would be a little more pooly than it is, but it's looking pretty stripy, so that's good. So I'm not unhappy with how that turned out at all. But it is feeling like it's time to do some measuring. Maisie's trying to figure out what she wants to do. She came up here and then she decided to go under the deck. It's cool under the deck and she gets hot. So we have to worry about how long our walks are and things, especially on a sunny day, because she gets hot. So, but since she runs around and exercises herself, it's okay. I don't know, pretty gray. I guess that's it. I hope you are well. I hope your family is well. I know some of you have family members who have COVID and you're worried about them. I'm worried about them for you too. I'm sending my most healing thoughts. And I hope the rest of you are staying safe and staying well. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Stay safe and stay sane.